Day 23 of reviewing every book I have read in 2025 until I catch up. Today's book is Parable of the Sower, a classic sci-fi. This was actually my first time reading it. I read it for my feminist sci-fi book club here in Portland, and I think that was a really great avenue for me to read it for the first time. Just really making sure I was paying attention, really thinking about the story, because obviously Octavia Butler wants you to think about her stories in depth and leaves a lot of like good things in there to give you some thoughts and conversations. For those who don't know about this book, you should, and I do think you should read it, even though I only rated it 3 stars, which, like, 3 stars is not a bad rating. I enjoyed it. It's just not my, like, cream of the crop cup of tea of enjoyment. But this takes place, I think, starting in like 2024. This was originally written in the 90s. Yes, the 90s. So that was like a near future timeline when this book was written. After mostly governmental collapse, and kind of follows this young woman in California dealing with that. There was a mostly functioning government when her parents were like coming up and into adulthood, but she's kind of lived in this crashing governmental state her whole life where like all social programs have pretty much failed. It's mostly fend for yourself. There is still like some semblance of like mutual aid and neighborhoods like coming together to try to like protect themselves and function in their own little communities. One day that is also taken away from her and she has to kind of strike out on her own. So her goal is to try to go north into Oregon and see if she can make a life there. She's also developing this like religion as she goes along and has a lot of thoughts about how God is change and change is basically her whole religion, which makes sense because she's grown up in this era of declining government, increase in violence. Her concept of self has never really been solid because she's never really been in a safe enough place to develop that. So this is the first in a duology. I have not read the second yet, but my book club says I definitely should. So I will probably check that out at some point. I probably have more thoughts on this, but I'm out of yap time. So, okay, thanks, bye.